This is the Roulette Master. I love when you guys tell me that you've been making a ton of money with the new strategy that you created. And today is one of those days. One of my subscribers, Chip Tracy, says he has never lost with this new system. And he calls this the Holy Boss. And I can't wait to share it with you. Today, we're going to test it in a head to head matchup with 5 double streets, which is an amazing system. And we'll start with that first today. And I can't wait to get started. So let's just place those bets, and then we'll get to his new system of the day that has not lost. And we're going to place 5 double streets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's a $25 total bet, and let's spin. I'll go over the progression and everything you need to know to win with this system. And we lost, so we're going to go ahead and triple the bet. We're going to go from 5 to 15. Okay, just like that, and spin. Excuse me. And thank you guys for your support while I've been going through pneumonia. I know it hasn't been easy. Um, and that's a win there. We're going to go from 15 back to double the previous bet, which is 10. And let me know down in the comments if you guys have had pneumonia and got over it, and what you did to get over it. That would be awesome. I think I'm getting closer to getting through this, but it's been a long time. And that's a 34 red. And we lost again. So now we were at 10 there, so we tripled from 10 to 30. Okay, and this is a really great progression here, as we're not staying at the triple amount. And now we're at 30 each, so let's go ahead and spin. So we were at 10 each there. And so if we win this, we go back to double the previous bet. So 10 times 2 is 20. That means now all these bets go to 20. But I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Again, if you've got over pneumonia, or if you know anybody that has and what they did to get rid of it, that would be awesome. So we're back at 20 each now, and let's go ahead and spin. And it's been about a month now, and that's an 11 black. And that's a $35 win. So now you can see we were at 20 each. And so now we go back to 10. So let's go ahead and do that. Oops, I'll fix that one here in a second. We'll just put 10 back out. There we go, and let's spin. All right, let's get back in profit and then start increasing that profit. And that's a 20 black. That's a $10 win. We're up 15. Now we go back to where we started at 5. So let's go ahead and do that. Oops, sorry about that, guys. And okay, we're ready to go again at $25 total bet, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 16 red. And with each one of these wins, we're adding $5 to the profit. Now we're up 20. Okay, let's rebet and spin and see what we get here with 5 double streets. And then that new system of the day from Chip is coming up, and it's called Holy Boss Roulette System. And we lost that one. So we go from 5 to 15. So when you lose, you triple the bet. Let me fix that there. There we go. And spin. And then when you win, you go back to the previous bet doubled. Okay, that's a 19 red. Okay, so we go back to the previous bet doubled. So before we were at 20. Actually, I'm sorry. We were at 15 there. Before we were at 15, we were at 5. So we double 5. And that means we go back to 10. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. And we'll go through this a little while longer here so you feel comfortable with 5 double streets. And then again, we'll get to that new system. I'm excited about that one. And that's a 6 black. $10 win. So now we go back to where we started at 5 each. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And you can play this for more as well. This is a system you could really play low roller or high roller. You could use dollar units. I'm going to go over different bankrolls with you today with this at different bet amounts. And that's a $25 loss. We lost that at 5 each, so we go back to 15. Okay, here we go. So 5 to 15. That puts us down, but we'll get back up right here. Okay, that's a 9 red. That's a $15 win, so we're back up again. Now we go back to 10. So let's go ahead and do that. And spend $50 total bet, and here we go. 10 on each. Okay, that's a 4 black. That's a $10 win. We're up $20 now. So now we'll go back to 5 each. And there we go. $25 total bet. And let's go ahead and spend. Okay, that's a 25 red. Okay, now we're up 25. We'll rebet and spend. And you should get a lot of wins with 5 double streets. So hopefully we'll get a bunch of them right now. We had more losses than what you would normally see with this one at the beginning today. And here we go again. Let's see if we get a win here. We should get on a good run here eventually. But just as I say that, we hit a 0. So we're going to go ahead now, and we're going to triple that bet. So we're going to go from 5 to 15. Okay, and if you want to make more money than this faster, just start with $10 bets instead of $5 bets. And then you can pretty much double the amount that you're up. That's an 18 red, but you will need a higher bankroll. And that's a $15 win there. We're up $20. And we're going to go back to 10. So let's go ahead and do that. And we should start getting more wins at base level here shortly. But let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 5 red. $15 win. Now we're up 35. So let's go back to 25 where we started and spend. And this is a $1,000 bankroll with this one. However, if you want to do a $2,000 bankroll, use $10 units. If you want to, divide everything by 5, you could just use a $200 bankroll if you want to go back to 5s. And you see we lost that one, so we're going to triple the bet. And we're going to go from 5 to 15 again. And spin. And here we go. That's a 12 red. Okay, $15 win. We're back up 25. And now we're going to go back to 10 each. Okay, let's go ahead and spin again here. And let's get our profits up there. That's a 27 red. $10 win. Now we're up 35. We'll go back to 5. Okay, $25 total bet now, and let's spin. That's a 1 red. And that's a loss, so we'll go back from 5 to 15. Okay, we'll spin at 15 here, and when we get the win, we'll go back to 10. If we do, but if we lose, we'll triple the bet again. Okay, we did lose there, so we were at 15, so we tripled that bet from 15 to 45. So if we get the win here, the previous bet was 15. We double that to 30. Okay, let's go ahead and spin and see what we get here. Okay, that's a 30 red. That's a win, so we go back to a $30 bet now. And this is double the previous bet. Okay, now we're at 150 total bet, and let's spin. That's a loss there on 35 black, so we're going to have to triple the bet again. And let's go ahead and do that. So we were at 30, so now we're going to be at 90 each. So since we were at 30, if we get the win at 90, we'll go back to 60. We fix that there. Once you get that to 90, let's go ahead and spin. I think we'll get the win here. We've had way more losses than normal today with this. So I think we're due for a good stretch. Okay, so now we're going to go from 90 back to 60. And let's go ahead and do that. And 60 is double the previous bet. Put one more 5 on there and spin. And let's get ourselves back in profit again. That's a 17 black. Okay, and now we're going to go from 60 back to 40. So let's go ahead and do that. And I need to fix that one here in a second. Let's put that back to 40. There we go. And let's add this back up to 40 and spin. And let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 15 black, and that's a win. So we're up 20. Now we're going to go back to 30. So let's go ahead and do that. We're working our way back down. Okay, and we'll need to add one back here to get them all at 30 and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 27 red, and that's a win. Okay, so now we're up 50. We're going to go ahead and go back to 20 now, which is double 10. So let's go ahead and do that. So from 30 to 20. Okay, $100 total bet now, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 5 red. Another win there. We're up $70 now, finally coming around. And now we're going to go back to 10. Okay, now we're at a $50 total bet. And then if we get the win here, we'll go back to base level. And that's a 24 black. That's a win. Okay, so now we're up $85. We'll go back to where we started at 5 each. So that was a nice recovery there. And we're back to base level, 5 on each. We should get a bunch of wins at base level. We just haven't had the luxury of that so far. And that's another win. We're up $90. Let's go ahead and just rebet and spin and see what we get here. Okay, that's a 4 black. And that's another win. And with 5 double streets, again, with these $5 bets, you can do a $1,000 bankroll. With $10 bets, do a $2,000. If you want to use dollar units, use a $200 bankroll. So really, this can work for anybody. And we're up 100. And this hasn't been as good as what it would normally be with this system. We've had more losses than normal. Usually you get tons of wins with this many numbers covered. But you never know. That's why we have the bankroll, and we're up 105. But now it's starting to come around a little bit here. And but you triple the bet when you lose, and when you win, you go back to double the previous bet. And that's another win. So we're up 110. Let's see how many wins we can get here. And here we go. That's a 6 black. Okay, we're up 115. We'll rebet and spin. And I can't wait to get to that new system of the day that Chip said has not ever lost. And that's an 18 red. Okay, we're up 120. Let's rebet and spin. And let's see what we get here. That's an 8 black. Now we're getting some wins at base level. We're up 125. And we'll rebet and spin again here and see what we get. And that's a 10 black. Okay, we are up 130. We'll rebet and spin. And the new system from Chip is going to be a modification of the No Boss Roulette system. This is going to be called Holy Boss. And we're up 135. Let's rebet and spin. And he says this is another way that you can play with a live dealer without sitting out. So if you're one of those people that doesn't like to sit out spins, this will be really good for you. And he says it's doing incredible. So we lost that one. And we're going to go to from 5 to 15. Okay, let's go ahead and spin, and let's see what we get here. That's a 12 red. Okay, there's a win there. So we're going to go back to double the previous bet, which the previous bet was 5. So now we'll be at 10. Okay, now we're at $50 total bet, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 6 black. Okay, we're up 135. We'll go back to base level now. And then spin. And we're almost to the 15-minute mark, and then we're going to get to that new system of the day I know you guys have been waiting for. That's a 36 red. Let's go ahead and recover this one first. So let's go ahead and go 5 to 15 on all these bets. And spin. All right, here we go. That's a 5 red. That's a $15 win. So we'll go from 15 back to 10 and spin. And let's get a win here, and then we'll close this one out and get to that new system of the day. Again, this has been 5 double streets, and that's a 29 black. Okay, there's the recovery. We're up $135 after 15 minutes with 5 double streets. Let me know if you like to play it different, or if you would modify this system in any way. Let me know down in the comments. But now I'm excited because the new system of the day is here. I can't wait to share this one with you. So let's just jump right in and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the new roulette system of the day from Chip Tracy. This is the Holy Boss roulette system. And he says you don't have to sit out with this one like the original. You can play this with a live dealer, and he said he has never lost with this system. So we're going to start with $5 bets, which is smaller than he usually uses. And we're going to start on the 2 dozens that did not hit last. So first and second 12, and spin. All right, here we go with the Holy Boss roulette system. That's a 34 red. Okay, and we're going to start out by doubling twice if we lose. So we're going to go from that original $10 bet to a $40 bet. Okay, that's a 10 black. And that's a $20 win. So we're up $10 now. And we're going to bet on second and third 12 now and spin. And he said that the really cool thing about this is that you end up in the very similar situation to the boss roulette system. That's a loss there again. Let's go ahead and double that twice. And here we go. The no boss, he says it's very similar to the situation you end up in the no boss system, except you're not sitting out. And there's another loss there. And the really cool thing about this system, which I'm going to share with you now, is the higher the bets get, the more money you make. So we're probably going to get the win right here. And we did. That's a 20 black. And whenever the bets get higher, you make more money. So all of a sudden now we're up 40. And we'll be on first and third. And let's spin. And he likes a high bankroll and a low starting bet, which is usually a great recipe for not losing. And that's another win there. We're up 45. We'll be on second and third 12 for 5 each. And let's spin. All right. And if we get to that last bet there where we were at the 160 bet, which was 80 each, and let's double that twice, then he says that's very similar to where you're at in the no boss strategy, which is 100 each, but it's 80 each in this system. Okay, there's another nice win. We're at 55, and for $5 bets, that's adding up pretty quickly, and that's because the more losses you have, the more that you win, and that's a good one there. We're up 60, so we'll be on second and third, and let's spin again. This is the Holy Boss roulette system by Chip Tracy, and that's a 32 red. That's a $5 win. We'll be on first and second now. And by starting on the 2 dozens that didn't hit last, it puts you in the same situation as the no boss when you get to the $80 on each bet. And that's another win. We're up 70. And let's go ahead and spin. But you can do it with a live dealer without sitting out. And he said he still has not lost with this system. That's a 3 red. Okay, and that's a loss. So we're going to double that twice. And when you win on these bets, as they get higher, you make more money with each one. So that's a 4 black there. Okay, and this is a good example of what he's talking about. When you get to where there's 3 in a row of a dozen, you're in a similar situation as the no boss. We're at 80 each instead of 100 each with that system, but it's very similar. We have 3 in a row of 1 dozen, and this is where you usually get the win, but if you don't, you usually get on the next one. That's a 34 red, and that's an $80 win. So now we're up 100, and we'll be on first and second. And let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. And I'll give you a couple of different options for the next bet after that, depending on whether you're playing live dealer or automated, because of the table minimums and maximums. And let's see, we'll be on first and third now. And let's go ahead and spin. Because I know a lot of automated machines, the most you can bet is $2.50 each on dozens. So I'll go over that and what he does, because he doesn't play automated. So he plays this with the live dealer. Let's double that twice. And each time we do that, we're increasing the amount we're going to win on the next spin. And that's a 13 black there. Okay, we're in that situation again with the same as the no boss. 80 each, which is very similar to that. It's 100 each with the no boss. But you can see we have 3 in a row of second 12. So this is usually the situation where you win the next spin. And if you don't, you have a fantastic chance of winning the next one. But we got the win. $80 win. Now you can see we're up 135. And you can see the more losses you have, the more money you make. And let's go ahead and spin. That's a 12 red. Okay, that's another win. We'll be on second and third now. But when you're losing, you actually make more than when you're winning, because those higher bet amounts pay you more. And that's an 18 red. And we'll be on first and third. And 145 in profit with $5 bets in just 5 minutes is really, really good. And that's a 26 black. Okay, we'll be on first and second now. We're up 150, and let's spin. And I think this would also be a good one. The no boss strategy, you cash out when you're up 200. That'd probably be a good goal for this one. We're almost there. And let's go double that up. And again, these ones where you double twice and you get the win pay you more. So that's a 21 red. Another win. So now we're up 160. And you can see those profits are climbing there. And here we go. That's an 8 black. Okay, we're up 165. We'll be on second and third. And let's go over those bankrolls now. So if you're playing automated on this and you can't place the next bet after the one we showed you previously, or I showed you previously, and let's double that up twice. You can, instead of going from 160, from 80 each to basically the 320 bet, which is the 320 each bet. We're up 175. You can do a 250 each bet, and this will still be successful. But we'll go over that here again. So in the no boss strategy, you also go to 250. But Chip Tracy he doubles the bet twice again, which gets you from 80 to 160 each. A second here. Let's go. To 320 each. And we'll be on first and third now. And when you get to that 320 each bet, you make a ton of profit when you get the win there. And that's a 10 black. And let's go over the bankroll for that. So we're up 185. And we'll be on second and third. And that's an $850 bankroll if you go to the 320 each. But if you can only do 250 each because you're playing automated, that knocks that down to under $700. So that's nice. And we're up 190. Let's go ahead and spin. And I think that's 140 less than the 850. So let's see. That's a loss there. But it basically keeps your bankroll at a much smaller level. And then I'm going to talk to you about what Chip does. We're going to double that twice there and spin. And Chip actually uses a bigger bankroll, but I'm going to go over with you the different options and what the risks are. Okay, that's another win. We're up $200 already. So again, I think that would be an appropriate time to cash out and declare victory, just like those shirts at the roulettemaster.com, the cash out shirts. And those remind me to cash out every day. And I think they're awesome. So we're up 205. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. And we'll go over these bet progressions as well. That's another win there because I think I said it wrong one time. We'll be on first and third. But basically, you go from 5. You double twice, which would be to 20. And then you double twice to 80. And then you would double twice to 320. And that's a loss there. We're going to double twice. And again, each time we do that, we make more money when we recover. And he actually goes further than that. He actually uses a $4,000 bankroll with $5 units. But for today's video, we're using an $850 bankroll here with $5 units. But just know that Chip has not lost yet, and he is using a $4,000 bankroll with $5 units. And let's go ahead and spin. But I know a lot of you don't have $4,000 to put in a bankroll with just $5 bets. Today we're using an $850 bankroll with this, which is basically just one less progression. Okay, and we're up 210. And we're going to double twice and spin. And this doubling twice, every time you go further with the bets, it pays you more. So if we lose this one, we're going to make a lot more on the next spin. So this is actually an opportunity. So we're going to double twice. And now we're close to what the no boss system would be. We're at 80 each instead of 100 each. And let's spin. That's a 28 black. Okay. So now we're at the final bet, which is 320 each. And which is 640 total. And now we're at, you can see we have 4 in a row. So if we lose, it's going to be because we have 5 in a row. It takes 6 in a row for Chip to lose. But the odds are we're probably not going to lose this spin because you rarely see 5 in a row of 1 dozen. But it can happen. But let's get the win here on first and second 12. I think we'll get it. And we did. That's a 5 red. And the cool thing about this system is the farther you go, the more money you make. You can see we just jumped to $330 profit. So, even though you get a little bit more risk as the bets get higher, when you get wins, the profits go way up. And you can see we're at 330 now. So now we'll be on second and third 12, and let's spin. But just know Chip does use a $4,000 bankroll with this one. So he goes another step past that. And but there is a lot more risk involved with that. We're up 335, especially if you were to get a bunch of zeros in there. And let's go ahead and spin. And I think the only way you'd ever get 6 in a row of 1 dozen would lose when you're betting against that 1 dozen 6 times is if some zeros popped in there. So let's go ahead, and we're up 340. Let's go ahead and spin. But anything can happen in roulette. The odds are most of the time you're going to win with this. But I would definitely cash out at when you're up a couple $100 and declare victory. Again, just like those cash out shirts say. They say cash out on the front. We also have hats that say that. But it just helps remind me when I'm playing that it's time to declare victory over the casino. And if you play too long, like Sonny always says, you're going to get bit. And we're at 350. We'll be on first and second 12, and let's spin. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I do so much better when I just play for short periods of time and then cash out and then go get my free stuff, enjoy some of my free drinks, and just know that you're a winner for the day. And I don't know how many times people are up and then they lose it all, and then they lose even more. And the times that people lose the most are the times that they were up because they feel so bad that they let it get away, that they really press, and those are the days you lose a ton. So you can just get that out of the way by wearing those cash out shirts and declaring victory over the casino, and like Sonny always says, get your money and run, and that's the way to do it. And he's worked in a casino his whole life, so he knows. That's a loss there. So we're going to go ahead and double twice. And remember, when we get 3 in a row, we're in a similar situation to the no boss. but we're not sitting out. And again, that's nice for Chip because he plays with the live dealer, and this way you don't have to sit out spins. We're up $375, and we'll be on first and third. But also remember that he goes one more in the progression, which gives him a little bit better chance of not losing, but also has added risk to it. But part of the reason that he's won so much money is because he's gotten to that final bet a couple times, and it pays huge when you get to that final bet. But that's a lot more risk, and that's a 17 black. Okay, and we're at 385, and we'll be on first and third. But I like the smaller bankroll with around $700. And you can even do, if you're playing automated, you can do the 250 each bet instead of the 320 each bet because they won't let you do that. And you're still making good profit. So let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 9 red. It's another nice win. We're at $395. And again, the reason we got up that high with such small bets is because it's increasing exponentially each time you lose. And if you get to those high bet amounts, it really pays off. So there's definitely more reward for your risk. And we're at $400, and we'll be on first and third. All right, here we go. Okay, that's a 14 red. Okay, we lost that one. Let's see how far we go in the progression again. But usually you get the win on the second one or the third one. But let's see what happens here. That's a 20 black. Okay, we're in that situation again. That's similar to that's similar to the no boss, which means the no boss is at 100 each. This is at 80 each. You can see we have 3 consecutive of 1 dozen. So we have a good chance of winning this one. But if we lose, we'll probably get it with the next bullet, but we don't need that. Okay, now we're at $430, and that's 15 minutes with this incredible new roulette system, the Holy Boss roulette system from Chip Tracy. Thank you for sharing this, Chip, and I hope other people can make money with this as well. But remember to cash out and declare victory. Don't keep playing this all day until you do get a bunch of zeros or something like that happens. And I just really hope you guys are enjoying this search for the best roulette system possible each and every day. I love it, and I love seeing what you guys come up with every day. Keep it up, and remember to send those systems to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. And let's keep growing this community of people that really love roulette. I can't wait to get back to Vegas here in a few weeks, and it's going to be awesome. So I look forward to hearing from you guys, and everybody have an awesome day.